Wee you, wee you, wee you. It's a potato emergency. You need to eat a baked potato in less than 20 minutes for some reason, or else you will die. The Basic Ass Cooking Channel is here to rescue you from your unrealistic predicament with a baked potato recipe ready in less than 30 minutes. Here is a gorgeous shot of what we are going to make today. I'd like you to take a very, very careful look at this shot and see if you can figure out what the secret ingredient is. No, it's not plate. So for this recipe, you're going to need a potato and some garlic and some onion, and the secret ingredient, some broccoli. I'm going to make mine with some chicken. Let's see how this all comes together. You'll also need a wet paper towel. You won't eat this part of the recipe, but it is vital anyway. You'll also need some sour cream if you'd like to dress it up at the end. You'll need some salt and pepper, some oil of some sort. I'm going to use some olive oil, and I'm going to use some barbecue sauce as my sauce. And today I'm going to pull out my food processor to make this recipe a little bit easier on me and to really hide the secret ingredient. So the first thing you're going to do is poke holes into your potato. My potato was rinsed clean before I began to do this, so just poke holes into the potato. Make sure that you poke a lot of holes into your potato. Then you're going to take your very damp paper cloth, paper towel, and wrap your potato up very nice and snugly, like it's your little russet baby. Wrap it on up in the wet paper towel. Next, take a piece of cling wrap, and tear it off. And you're going to wrap that on top of the wet paper towel that is on top of the rinsed potato. Make sure to do this pretty tightly. What you're trying to do to mimic baking a potato is to create a lot of steam, so the evaporating water will penetrate the flesh of the potato, but you have to keep that steam mostly, not completely, but mostly inside of this little capsule. So the cling film needs to be pretty tight. And then I'm going to put just 2 or 3 kind of release valves, if so to speak, on top of that. And then you'll cook your potato in the microwave for about 10 minutes. Mine took 10 minutes. Yours might take a little bit longer if you have a very big potato. So next, let's move on to the broccoli. This is our secret ingredient, and it's a good way to use up any kind of old and ugly vegetables from your refrigerator. It's a good way to hide vegetables in the food if you're a parent, or if you're an old millennial like I am and just want to hide vegetables in your food for really no reason. So I just took off the top tough layer of the broccoli, and I'm going to rice it, which is just a noun that I've made into a verb to mean that the broccoli will be like small pieces of rice after it is processed in the food processor. So I can just put those chunks into the food processor and give it a whirl. So I'm going to process the broccoli until it is very, very fine. I stopped once to scrape down the sides just to make sure everything gets all chopped up and is an even consistency. And at the end, that's what I have. It's so fine that you can't really even tell it was broccoli. I'm going to just leave the broccoli in there and also process the onion and garlic. I'm leaving the little florets for another dish that I'll make probably tomorrow. I did use one small piece as garnish, but other than that, I'll save the rest for tomorrow. Now I am just going to chop up my onion and put that into the food processor. Using the food processor is actually kind of fun and easy. I'm going to do the same with the garlic. I'm going to remove the garlic from its skins, of course, and then just pop those pieces into the food processor with the other vegetables. Give it a whirl, make sure everything is all chopped up and combined, and this is ready to go in the pan. So here I'm going to add a little bit of oil to the pan, and I'm going to begin to saute my broccoli, onion, and garlic mixture. And you just want to saute it, not make it brown or like really brown it or anything. Just saute it until everything is starting to get soft. Make sure you get it all out and spread it around in the pan. While that begins to do its thing, I'm going to now take the chicken breast. I only had one, so I cut it up into 4 pieces. And I'm going to pulse to process the chicken breast into like a ground beef type texture. There I'm pointing at the pulse setting, so just kind of pop it a couple of times. You can see exactly how many times I use the pulse button just to grind up the meat. And you could also do this with ground beef if you wanted to. I did not have any ground beef, and I was just trying to use up what I already had. So that is what your meat will look like. You also don't need to wash the bowl between doing the broccoli and the chicken. Just it's all going down the same way, so you can put it all in one and just use the bowl of your food processor just once. Well, just clean it once, I mean. So here I've put the chicken into the broccoli, onion, and garlic mixture, and I added a little bit of oil because I had chicken breast and it was almost fat-free. So the trick to this is to really stir everything up together. It took a lot of stirring to get this to come all together, so I just sped this up. This was seemingly like half of my footage was stirring this up. But once it's stirred up all together and you put the barbecue sauce on top, it'll really just kind of look like a chili. And whoever's going to eat this, you really won't be able to tell that there's broccoli inside. It did not taste like broccoli. So just let it simmer. I actually went to the stove and got some water to really get as much of the sauce out. Look at that clean bottom of the bottle. I didn't bother with the top for some reason. So after everything is stirred up, it's looking good. And at this point, our potato is done. It has come out of the microwave. You can see that it is soft, and this is a way that you can test it without unwrapping it. So if you take it out and squeeze it and it is supple in your hand, then you know that it is ready to eat. So unwrap it very carefully. It will be very hot. You can kind of see the steam on your screen. And I'm going to attempt to cut it down the middle and make my plating look very fancy. But we both know, me and you watching this video and me doing this, we both know it's not going to be very fancy now, don't we? So here's my potato. I am first going to season the inside with just a little bit of salt and pepper. And I'm going to treat myself to a little bit of Kerrygold butter. If you've never had Kerrygold butter in your lifetime, please go ahead and try it now. It should be on your bucket list. Definitely a thing to eat before you kick the bucket. This video just got dark for no reason. This was about broccoli and potatoes. So now I'm going to take my chicken mixture, my chicken that is very, very covertly hiding a lot of broccoli. Actually, quite a bit of broccoli is in this. And you can't tell from looking at it or from tasting it. It really just tasted like barbecue sauce, to be honest. So I'm going to pile up my potato and add a little dollop of, I was going to say whipped cream, of sour cream on the side. I suppose if you wanted to, you could have it with whipped cream. That is none of my business. I'm going to add a little floret at the top in an attempt to decorate this. And here is what the mixture looks like in the pot. I cooked it down quite a bit, but still this recipe took less than 30 minutes. So there you go. That is my shaky camera work. Get it together, girl. All right. So thank you so very much for watching the Basic Ass Cooking channel. We have saved your life. Crisis was averted. You were able to eat a potato if you followed this recipe in less than 30 minutes. Your potato-based life is now saved. Make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I will see you next time.